A little over 3 years ago, I left the world of full-time consulting. I didn't know what I wanted to do yet to earn a living, but I did know that I wanted to take some time off, and I had an idea for a novel that I really wanted to work on. Shifting from consulting to writing a book was a giant leap for me. I'd never studied writing, I'd never studied anything because I'd never gone to college, and so there was this big gap, this big learning experience that had to happen for me. But just as massive as learning how to write a good story was learning how to be a writer, which isn't so clear necessarily, and it's a night and day difference from being in the business world. The first thing I learned was that I could really only get quality work done for 3 or 4 hours a day. And this was very different from the business world where we try to squeeze out 8, 9, 10 hours a day, right? The second thing that I found that was super interesting was that there are activities that were part of my job now that I had never considered to be work, quote unquote, right? So reading was one of them. Reading had always been something that I'd only ever done recreationally. And now it was part of my job to study other writers and to study story arcs and to study character development, scene and setting and all of these things. It was part of my work, but it was this massive shift to go from this thing that had always been kind of for pleasure, that was only recreational, to now it's part of my job. Other things like taking a walk in the middle of the day to let my mind settle down or to let my subconscious work out a problem, sitting in meditation. These are things that needed to be done in between the hours of 9 to 5 because they were now my job. Maybe you already get where I'm going here, but as we shift jobs and roles and careers throughout our lives, the activities that we do have to shift as well. Today, as a coach, it's imperative that I sit in meditation, that I am constantly reading and synthesizing information, that I'm taking time to allow my mind to clear so that I can best serve my clients. These didn't feel like job activities to me for a very long time. So I'm wondering, are you still doing the exact same task as a leader and as an entrepreneur that you did when you worked for someone else? Are you still hanging on to old ideas about what your job should look like on a day-to-day basis? Is it really your best and highest purpose to spend all day on back-to-back Zoom calls or managing email or looking over every single piece of copy that goes out the door? Don't you think that your best contribution to your clients and to your employees might be to be spending time thinking creatively and strategically and doing things in a completely different way than you've ever done them before?